Dave, and gentleman in the middle is Charlie, and the gentleman on the far side is Sam. Today we got podcast number 86. It's titled MLB for $15. You'll find out in our topic of the week what's that all about. But until then, gentlemen, how was your week so far?
No, it's good. Can't complain.
Yeah, it's been good. So It's in May. May's always a crazy busy month to wrap up the school year. So
that is true. 3 more weeks. 3.
Yep.
Countdown has begun. So it is. Yeah. It's always good, and we're not the only ones counting down either. So it's those students are counting down as well. But speaking of counting down, let's count down the week that was. We'll start with FC Cincinnati. They pulled out a victory last night, Orlando. Then the first 18 seconds, Acosta scored a goal, fastest in FC history, and that was the only goal that was scored for the game. Thoughts on the game and the goal?
Yeah, I mean, they got off to a quick start. It's kind of the ultimate edition of what we've been talking about, how they just need to get a lead and hold on. And they did it 20 seconds in yesterday. I mean, but it kind of just goes to show if Acosta doesn't make some magic happen, they just don't have a real good attacking threat. They were down a striker yesterday. I'm sure we'll get into that here in a little bit as to why. But yeah, I mean, it's an exciting way to start the game, and then to actually hold on and win the game that you start off that way is still good. I know Orlando's struggled a little bit so far this year. They're usually one of the teams that's always around the playoffs. So go on the road, take all 3 points. A lot of these games haven't been pretty, but they've been productive, and I mean, they're still looking real good for a good playoff seeding. So,
Charlie, what was your take?
Yeah, I mean, it's been weekly repeats here. I mean, again, they score 1 goal, they win the game. Still haven't scored 2 or above 2. But they only needed 1, and they scored. It's tough to beat a goal in 18 seconds. I don't know what the MLS record is, but it can't be much shorter. I mean, even if you just kicked the ball off and kicked it to the goal, that's probably 5 to 6 seconds. So I mean, so that's it's got to be close to a overall record. But yeah, I mean, they hopefully this new guy, this 19-year-old guy that Kelsey they just got can supply some more attack, because in the long run, this isn't going to work for them competing playoff wise. I mean, they're going to win their share of games defensively. They're really good. They got Celentano back yesterday, so they can. So their goals conceded is going to be a low number most of the season, but still got to score goals to win. So hopefully this new guy, even though he's young, will give them a little bit more of a offensive presence, because they definitely need it. Acosta's going to wear out for the end of the season. He's not the youngest guy in the world anymore. So I think he took a little bit of a knock yesterday when I read. So he's, it's going to happen all year long. If I was on the other team, I'd be doing that all game long, running with them and chipping them and doing what you got to do. Because if he's not involved, if he's out or not involved, then FC's attack is really going to be limited. So, but no, they won. I mean, at the end of the day, they still figure out a way to win.
That is true. That is true. So let's go ahead and talk about Kevin Kelsey there, 19-year-old kid. What does he bring to the club? I mean, Sam, do you know anything about him?
I mean, he's a attacker, striker. He's a big kid too. I think like 6'3", 6'4". So he's more in that Brandon Vasquez mold. He should be, in theory, good in the box. Scoring headers. I don't know too much about his style of play. I mean, the Ukrainian league is not very well covered, so you don't really find out a whole lot about those guys. But I mean, he did play for Shakhtar Donetsk, which is kind of like the top team over there. They've played in the Champions League the past couple of years. So, I mean, they're at least a good, organization over there. That's who he was playing for. So I'm sure he's got a good level of skill, good baseline. So hopefully they can integrate him. And, I mean, when you're talking about a 19-year-old, consistency is kind of the main thing. We know that with any sport. Just whether or not, how consistent is he going to be from game to game? Is he going to be more, like a Brandon Vasquez was a couple years ago, where he was a threat to score every game, or is he going to be, Bupenza, where it's like, he's just out here running around, So I guess that's really the question mark on him.
All right. A lot of parallels between this offensive juggernaut and, our Cincinnati Reds offensive juggernauts, scoring 1 run or no runs, limited offense. But we'll talk about the Reds here in a little bit in the week that was. But big game next week. Columbus Crew, hell is real. Yeah, something has to click because I don't know if they can beat them 2-1. I don't know.
No, they have. I mean, honestly, Miami's probably the best team. Columbus is 1B. I mean, Columbus is really good this year. They're in the CONCACAF Champions League final. They've got a chance to become the first or the second, I think, MLS team to ever win that competition. They dominated Monterrey, Brandon Vasquez's team, in the last round. So I mean, they're definitely flying high and looking good. Their coach is probably the best coach in MLS, is what I've been hearing, Wilfred Nancy. So, and I mean, last year they knocked us out of the playoffs too. Like they know how to rise to the occasion. So it'll be a really good game, and hopefully, at the very least, I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. But it would be nice to get a win in that one.
All right. So good luck to FC next week. Is that game home or is that at Columbus? And do you know a time?
Do not know if it's here at Columbus. I can look here real quick. Let's see here. No, yeah, I don't know. It's not pulling up. ESPN makes it real hard to get to MLS since they don't have any of the coverage. So,
well,
it's almost impossible.
We just know that they are.
Looks like it's at Columbus.
At Columbus.
At Columbus.
All right. Is it a evening match? Probably.
7:45.
7:45. All right. There you have it. So hopefully next week when we'll come on show, we'll talk about another victory, and slowly moving up in the rankings there. Bengals news. Anything stand out last week after the draft? I mean, we had a week to think about it. You guys think of anything?
Not really. Just the normal stuff of all the people that cover the Bengals, never being critical of them. So, just the fluff pieces and all that good stuff. So,
yep. And then, they did bring in some unrestricted free agents, right? And maybe they brought the punter from Texas Tech, I think, or Texas A&M, one of the two. And probably a little competition there for our boy Brad Robbins. And
yeah, did you see what he said? He said he thrives in a competition. I'm like, our game's not competitions.
Yeah,
because you don't. I watched you 17 games last year. No, you don't.
Yeah, he struggled last year, but OTAs coming up the end of the month. We'll see if T reports those type of things. He has until June something to sign the tag. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. All right. Moving on to our struggling Reds. This past week has been difficult for them. Lost 2 of 3 to San Diego, and then we lost 2 as of right now to Baltimore. They can't score a run. The pitching has been decent in the Baltimore series. And Hunter Green pitched well enough to win, but he didn't get any help. And then, Abbott yesterday, went 5. I mean, he struggled a little bit, but he, once again, Friday night you get 2 hits out of Ellie, and that's it. And then yesterday, I mean, you only had 4 hits, I believe. India got 2 of them. So it's, and it was a pitcher who.
I mean, they're putrid right now. I mean, I'm looking at their stats. They've got 4 guys that are above 200. 5 guys that are above 200. 1 guy is at 200.
Mm-hmm.
I mean as much as I want to blame David Bell, like, what's he supposed to do if nobody can play ball? Like, I mean, you've got to put 9 guys out there, and I mean, he's got 4 who are playing like big leaguers at the moment. So, I mean, over half of your lineup is just not playing well enough to do anything. I mean, I guess Candelario had a couple good games there this past week, but I mean, he's still only hitting $190.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and he got scratched from the lineup today. He was actually in the lineup, but Tinkerbell, I guess, decided to put Espinal at third because
Candelario has some sort of minor leg issue.
Okay, so. But he was in the original lineup, but I think he.
Yeah, but who are you gonna? I mean, Espinal's no better, so.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Bell was like, oh, Espinal has a streak of like 15 straight games playing. We better not break that streak. Let's see, who can I remove today since India's playing second? Oh, let's go Candelaria. But it's one of those things that this team is below the Mendoza line. It's. I mean, if you look at Major League batting averages right now, it is, I mean, they are, I want to say they're 28th overall in Major League Baseball. It's bad. It is really, really bad.
Yeah, they're hitting 213 as a team.
Yeah, 213. I mean, that's.
And there's actually teams below that. That's even worse.
Yeah. I think Chicago White Sox. I think the White Sox is below that, and I can't remember the other team. But
I mean, for them to even be around 500 just shows you how good of a pitching staff, or how good the pitching staff has been this year. I mean, you hit 213. I mean, they should be 10 games under already.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. With the offensive woes, a lot of people out here on social media platforms, the Twitterverse, Instagrams, and, even YouTube, people have been clamoring for Mike Ford to be called up. And I know we discussed it briefly last week when he asked for his release, and Friday, they gave it to him because I guess they had an ultimatum of either, because of his contract situation, he either be called up to the big leagues or they would have to release him unconditionally, and they opted for that. And I was reading the Inquirer today, Bell's comment, and he said he really likes this team. He really likes the people that are here. All the.
I mean, it's just cliche nonsense,
right?
So.
Yeah, all the locker room. I believe in these guys. Yada yada yada. My thing is, Mike Ford. Yeah, he had 6 home runs in AAA, but we've seen that before, where these guys pound the ball in AAA. And they come up and they look like Nick Martini. And
it's because they are Nick Martini.
Exactly. And maybe Mike Ford would have given us one good game.
But he'd had a week or something,
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at, 31 years old. He's got a career average of 211. This isn't some, hot shot prospect that, like, oh man, now we're really missing out. Like, he's 31. In the past 4 years, he's played on like 7 teams. Like,
he's a journeyman for a reason, and that's the problem with some of our fans is they don't understand that. They don't understand the back of the baseball card and why, if this guy had 6 great games in AAA, 6 home runs, they want him up here. He should be up here. Now, maybe he could have been up here instead of Martini. But we'd have had fans clamoring why, the first time he goes 0 for 4 and strikes out 4 times. They're like, why we needed a left-handed bat, Martini needed to be here, those kind of things. So I don't know. I don't know if we can do anything, or better question is, will we do anything?
Well, that's an easier one to answer. It'll be no.
Right.
I mean, you're clamoring for Mike Ford because you're just grasping for answers. I mean, because the team right now is not very good. And so you're looking for anybody that can give him an answer. Nick Martini, we knew, and back of the baseball card. I don't care about opening day. I said it that day that JD Martinez was still going to, I will bet $100 that JD Martinez has a better year than Nick Martini does, even though he had the 2 home runs on opening day. And I think Martinez has played like 4 games and he's already better than Martini is. So, I can put that on Crawl. He didn't, he's got the last few guys on the bench are terrible. They didn't do anything about it. The Padres just went out and traded for Luis Arraez. I mean, there are options out there. You got to be creative. You got to be willing to, give up some draft or some, minor league guys. And we're not willing to do it because of money, because those guys are cheap. Arraez is expensive. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, anybody can say whatever they want, but if you have paid attention to the Reds at all, it all boils down to still money. And the Castellinis won't spend it. And so it's easier to have some, Cam Collier sit down there in single A and make, $50, whatever they make down there, than go out and actually have to spend any money on a guy that they would have to trade for. The Risey, they got for 2 years. I mean, it would be nice to have a guy who could bat 400 on this team right now, wouldn't it? I mean, that's that's something that we don't have right now, is a guy that puts the ball in play, and, he's not very good defensively, but we got Jonathan India, and he's terrible defensively. So just add, we'd add I mean, we're just not creative. We don't spend money. We're the Bengals of the Reds are the Bengals of the 90s right now. No creativity, not willing to try anything out of the box because of the owner's limitations. It still boils down to that. And everybody can play in La La Land or whatever, but it's still the number one issue of this team moving forward.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the thing with Arraez, the Marlins are paying his salary down to the minimum. So the Padres just have to pay him the minimum this year. The Marlins are paying the difference. So I don't know how the Reds wouldn't have been able to afford that. Because whoever you call up to the big leagues is making the minimum. So you're paying them the same dollar amount. So why not go get a guy that could, bat lead off or hit second or wherever you want to put him in the lineup? And he's a 330 hitter.
Yeah. To me, it's just we're not willing to be creative. We're not willing to do anything that, we just wait on our single A prospects to show up 3 years from now.
Not even single A prospects. So. We're waiting on the hope that TJ Friedl, he's coming back.
One guy
coming
TJ
back
Friedl
next.
Ain't gonna get this offense over the top. Now Shohei Ohtani, he could do a little of the offense. Not TJ Friedl's fine. I mean, I would love him to be here. But that's not changing this offense into a
spark plug. He's the engine that could, right? That's the hope. That's the hope. And then they don't want to get, this is just my little hot take here, right? They don't want to pick up another second baseman because Matt McClain might come back in August, which I don't think he will because our doctors can't freaking.
Padres are playing. You talking about Arraez?
Yeah.
Padres playing him as a primary DH, and we have no DH right now. The Padres infield is as stocked as the Reds, if not more. You're not moving Bogarts, you're not moving Cronenworth, you're not. They don't. So they're putting him as the DH. I mean, who's our DH?
Nick Martini.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So it wouldn't even upset the infield. I mean, we're having to play Jonathan in the infield.
Right.
So I mean, Candelario is not a good infielder.
But Espinal
No,
won't get to
honestly,
play anymore. Come on.
I mean, if they're so worried about it, one of these guys can be sent down. Honestly, CES should probably be sent down. I'm looking at it. He's a -1 WAR, like -1.
Well,
like that's insane.
Look, what's Candelario? The $15 million man
is -0.2.
They won't do anything with him because of the money.
No, of the money,
Yeah,
15
but
million.
CS can get sent down.
Right.
Like,
but who are you going to bring up?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you trade for a rise too, like that. You have a roster spot there, like, or I mean, you could get rid of Bubba Thompson, or get rid of Stu or Espinal.
They basically have already gotten rid of Bubba Thompson. I mean, he's him. The three of us are contributing as much as Bubba Thompson is to that lineup right now. He has as bad as they are. He hasn't had an at bat since like March the 26th. Right? It's been like 3 weeks since he's had an at bat. That tells you how bad he is in this team, and they're just wasting a roster spot with him.
Yeah, the
Angels literally game, a waste of a roster spot.
Yeah, that is a and then this playing 3 men down on the road trip.
Oh yeah, that was
because they were sick, and it's like, well, we don't want to call anybody up, and it's like, okay, so
you put somebody on the IL. I mean, you just you do it. You can't, especially without David Bell likes to manage a lineup, and everybody's got to play. You got to give him options off the bench. I don't.
Everyone's playing. Everyone's playing.
Everyone except Bubba, I guess. So.
Yeah, well, Bubba comes in as a pinch runner, and the value.
I don't even think he's been doing that, has he?
Yeah, I think he was on base.
He was on base last night. He pinch ran for someone.
Yeah.
He didn't get on base himself.
He's not allowed to swing the bat.
No. That's Herb Washington, the official pinch runner of Topps baseball. That's Bubba.
He's Rudy, whatever Rudy was from the Bad News Bears. Just get in there and lean into it, or
lean into one.
Lean into it, or I'm going to throw a beer can at you. So
that's what. Maybe we can chip in and buy David Bell a little Cincinnati Reds cooler so that he can take along to the game, pop open a beer, just sit back in the dugout, throwing it at people. Like, gosh darn it. Maybe we need to find what was the well, I was going to say our pitching is pretty good because we don't need to find an Amanda to come in, but we might need a Kelly, to come in and hit the long ball. Hit the long ball. So,
Reese Hines just hit a 500-footer the other day. You saw that one.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door here. So we'll see.
Can he be worse than Martini?
No.
Stu?
No.
Bubba?
No, he cannot. So we'll see.
The bottom line is, one, we know the Reds they're not creative, they're cheap, they're not going to go out and do anything, that's involving spending money or going out and being creative, whatever. So our only chance is that the guys who are here start, hitting well. I mean, start they got to turn around, because that's our only hope. We're not going outside the organization. No. There's nobody at AAA who's really any good. Marte's a long way off, and who knows how much he's going to be able to play anyway. And McClain still may not. I'll believe it when I see him on the field.
Yeah, I don't
put any faith and any hope. I mean, the Reds do not have a good history of, he's coming back. And Lodolo last year, Green last year.
Montez this year, right? I mean, he's like, he's only going to miss a start. And
so unless CES turns it around, unless Candelario starts batting his weight, unless Friedel comes back and actually is the Friedel of last year, the Reds are. I mean, they're not competing for the playoffs. I mean, Bob, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. That these guys that are not bringing in outside reinforcements. They're just not. So that's our only hope. I mean, I'm guessing at the trade deadline we will be sitting here again, watching other teams pull guys in, and it'll be all over. But we're not going to be able to be. We don't even need to be buyers of moving on from this point, because we're not going to be in contention.
We need to be sellers then, and get rid of the $15 million man, because that's the question, right? I mean, this he's making a little bit more a lot more money than Will Myers, but similar trajectory right now as far as comparables between last season and this season. And will the Reds come May the end of May, if he's still batting under 200 and not really producing anything, will they eat that contract and say, you know what, get out of here?
No, it's not a 1-year deal
the whole time.
Yeah,
Myers was at least a 1-year deal, but Candelario was, 4 years?
3 years.
3 years? So, they're not going to eat 2 more on top of this one.
Yeah, he's the Moustakis right now. They never got rid of him.
Well, that is true. He is the Moustakis.
I mean, outside of with Castellanos, has a free agent recently done anything productive that they've signed?
Not hitting wise.
No. Montas, I thought, is
sure, but that was 3 starts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking, in the past 8 years or 7 years or however long Carl's been around. Has he signed a good free agent yet? Outside of Castellanos? And I don't think he has.
I don't think he has either.
Sonny Gray wasn't a free agent, was he?
Sonny Gray might have been.
They traded.
I think he was a trade.
Did they trade
they got him from the Yankees. Yankees gave him up.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know.
He's made some good trades, but free agent wise, he hasn't. I really.
Well, because I think because Bob's sitting on his wallet and he's not.
Maybe so, but he paid Moustakis. There's got to be somebody from that class, right? Who could have gotten similar money who ended up being productive, but they went after the wrong guy. That's I'm not saying obviously they didn't get Shohei. That's not what I'm talking about. But
at least they didn't get Rendon.
German guys,
Rendon. That was at least we didn't get that. But but I think it's Crawley's right. I think that the Reds aren't going to be creative. They're not going to make big splash moves. They'll pick up a Sam Moll here at the deadline, something like that can help, a piece. And then they just hope that their scouts, when they drafted these guys, their player development will come through and these guys will start producing we hope they can. Because early on, you had Spencer Steer hit. Now he's not hitting. The batting average and the on-base percentage, OPS, the first 19 games, 700, etc. Now it's under 5 on the last 9-10 games here. The offense is in a slump. It's contagious, unfortunately. So is hitting. So if they can all break out together, watch out. It's just one of those things that I think we just have to, I hate to say it, we can't wait too much longer because we were 2 games out at the start of the Baltimore series. Now we're 4.5.
We're 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 4.5 and could be 5.5 after today. Hopefully Lodolo can shut them down, but we'll see. All right. See, they've got the Diamondbacks coming to town. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe.
They're struggling right now.
Yeah, they are struggling right now. Hopefully Corbin doesn't decide to break out against us, which who knows? And then we go embark on a 10-day West Coast swing, 3 in San Francisco, 3 in Arizona, so that we'd wrap up the Arizona, and then 4 in LA, which we don't do well in LA anyhow. So we'll see. We'll see that. That right here could be, 2 or 3. If we can, as long as we don't get swept or, lose, if we go 1 out of 2, hang around, I think we'll be okay once we can weather this gauntlet. But if we go on that 10-game road trip and we're like 2-8,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you can kiss the season goodbye at that point. I mean, it'd just be another wasted summer in Cincinnati. But, yeah, I mean, they desperately have to just hit. I mean, their pitching has been good enough to win ball games, or at least keep them in ball games, but they just haven't hit. To have a team that plays in GABP that can't hit that's just ridiculous. I mean, my entire childhood, even the bad teams, they could always still hit. They just could never pitch. But to get the inverse of that now it's just ridiculous. They've got to figure something out. All those guys do.
Well, that'll lead to our next segment of the Reds here. Pitcher, hitter of the week, and who should be demoted. So let's go with pitcher of the week. This could be a tough one. I don't know if we're all. Because there's only 5 games, so each pitcher had like
everybody's
one.
got one. Yeah, one start. I'm looking at the stats right now for this past week. I mean, I would go with Lodolo. He had the 7-inning, 1 earned run game. He's the only guy that won a game this whole week. 11 strikeouts and one start. 0.43 whip. Yep. So, I mean, none of them are bad. I mean, in terms of the starters, and the bullpen's struggling. Cruz, Pagan, Diaz, all over 9 for the week ERA. But I would go just matching up starts. It's Lodolo for me.
Yeah, same thing. Lodolo.
All right, clean sweep. Lodolo.
I mean, that's who's pitching today. So please, he can do it. If he can do what he did last time, I mean, all we need is 1 run, I guess. So
yeah. Let's hope. All right, hitter of the week.
I'll let you guys choose that one because there is nobody.
The only one, Ellie. I mean, Ellie was the only who could hit.
He's the only one who's not freezing cold. Literally, he's the only one.
He had 6
hits.
I think
he's at 278, so it's dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's at least it's not drastic like Steer was never good like everybody else. So
yeah. Ellie's it was 5 for 19 in this past week with 8 strikeouts.
Yeah. He didn't have any walks. What I saw, and that's the when I was looking at his batting average and balls in play from the right-handed side, it was like 360 something, and from the left-handed side, it was like 380 something. So when he's hitting the ball, he's getting on base. It's just he's got to cut down on those strikeouts. And he's young, right? He's 22, second year, not even his first full year, 162 games in. He's going to have those ups and downs, peaks and valleys where he hits.
He's the least of the problems right now.
Right. He is. So for me, it's Ellie this week.
Candelario actually had the best average for the week somehow. He was 6 for 18.
Still only hitting $190.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, I mean, the rest of it's ridiculous how bad this week has been. I mean, they got 8 guys who have batted 176 or below, 9 guys 200 or below. I mean, they only have 3 guys that were over 200 for the week. And that's counting Steer. Steer was above 200.
Whew. Steer struggling. That's
he was 211.
Wow. All right. So
you go whoever you want.
I'll go with Ellie.
Yeah, I'll go.
Because I'm not going with Candy. I'm sorry.
No.
Until
you got to hit above 200 before you get your name mentioned in a positive way.
In a positive way, yeah. Because he could be a candidate for who should get demoted. But all right. I mean, I think it's pinch runner.
Yeah, I mean,
pinch runner extraordinaire.
Guard it whoever you want. There's a lot of guys that could be demoted.
I mean, he kind of de facto already has been. So I was going to go a different way.
Go a different way.
I was going to go with Espinal. Just get him out of here too. I mean, Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's about 4 guys that you can choose from, and you can just get them out of here. Espinal, Martini. No, I'm going to change it to Martini because Espinal can at least play a couple different positions defensively. Martini can't do anything defensively. So, change my mind. I'm going Martini.
Crowley?
I'm fine with Martini.
Yeah. It's just like pull a name out of the hat.
Right.
Yep, there we go. Congratulations, your turn this week to be demoted. And maybe, somebody like that do what they did to Will Benson last year, demote him for a while, then he brings him back up and didn't like that taste in his mouth and decided to produce. So hopefully they'll be able to do something like that here soon. So, all right. We'll be back next week talking Reds and all that good stuff. Hopefully it'll be a little more positive next week.
Not a lot of positivity there.
No, not a lot. So we're sorry, fans.
Who was it? Diamondbacks, and then who they play next weekend?
Then they go to San Fran.
Okay.
And then
so Diamondbacks and San Fran this week.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
And then LA. Arizona and LA the following week. So, all right. So let's go slide us into our trivia question. And, each one of us takes turns coming up with a trivia, and the other 2 guys try to answer. And if you want to play along, you can do so a number of different ways. You can either shoot us an email at csspodcast@yahoo.com with your answer, or you can DM us on Instagram or Twitter at Cincy Sports Scene. I had the question last week, and it was we talked about uniform numbers. So it was like how top 5 uniform numbers ranked 5 through 1 by WAR. So which uniform has the greatest WAR? You guys got 3 of them, I think.
3. Yeah, we got 1, 3, and 5, I think.
Yeah, 1, 3. Yeah, so you got number 24. You got number 5, and then what was the other number you get? You remember?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
It's probably 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 7. So so you're missing the 4th and the 2nd. You want to take a quick guess?
Yeah, I'd have no idea.
All right. So in order, descending order, 24 was number 5. Number 11 was number 4. Number 7 was number 3. Number 6 was number 2. And the number 1 uniform by WAR was number 5. So there you have it. And then I think, Charlie, you got this week's question.
Yeah. So this is a positive question, not about the current team, unfortunately. Well, it kind of is spurred on by the current team. So Elly De La Cruz at this point is, already halfway to a 30-30 season in stolen bases. It's almost a third of the way. He's at 8 home runs. So he's on pace for a 30-30 season. The Reds have only had 3 of them in their history. Name the 3 guys who are the 30-30 club for the Reds.
Davis, Larkin, and
Brandon Phillips.
That's it.
Brandon Phillips.
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
Davis. 3
Davis.
seasons. Those Davis and Larkin had 1 season of it.
Right.
And Phillips he just made it 30 home runs and 32 stolen bases in 2007.
Yeah, Davis had didn't he have the 40 stolen bases?
He had 50.
Or 50.
37 home runs and 50 stolen bases in 1987.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there we go. We got it. So next week.
Harken back to
a glory day. Well, 87 wasn't, favorite players playing, but the team was still medaling around 3rd and 2nd place all the time. So, All right. We're moving on to our topic of the week, and we are going to build a MLB franchise. We're going to grab a pitcher, a catcher, a infielder, an outfielder, and a manager. So we'll have 5 people. And then we'll have tiers: a $5 tier, $4 tier, $3 tier, $2 tier, and a $1 tier. And we'll have to build our team from that. So what I'm going to do is share my screen for those of you that are watching on YouTube. You'll be able to see the list, and in this way everybody has it in front of them. And as we pick, and Sam, you want to do a generator for us to see who can go first.
And spin. Can't really say. I'll turn my phone around here and we'll see. So for the first pick, it'll be me.
Oh.
All right, do that. And for the second pick, be Dad. And then Charlie, you're third. Yeah.
Let me get this real quick here. Sam, Dave, and Charlie. All right, Sam. So you got the first pick. Who are you taking? And remember, you can
draft.
Yeah, we'll go snake draft. That's fine.
Okay.
And then we'll have once the person is taken, he's off the board. You cannot go over $15.
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Acuna, Ronald Acuna Jr.
All right, so he is off the board. All right, so I think I am going to go
Weaver.
Yeah, I put him on there just for you, Crawley, because you're gonna get him, man. You're gonna get him.
No, I will leave open space in my roster before I would take him. So
hey,
I'd be like the Reds currently, where I have like 3 guys that aren't,
Well, but the Reds scored like 8-9 runs when he pitched. How? He won a lot of games for him. Not really a lot, but they won the games when Luke Weaver was pitching. But I think I am going to go with I'm going to take Ellie just because I like Ellie. All right, so he is off the board. My infield is taken care of.
Okay, I'm gonna take Bobby Witt and Zach Wheeler.
All right, so you got Witt and Wheeler. All right, Junior, and then Wheeler. I'll put Wheeler. All right. I think I will go with Garrett Cole. Sam?
I will take. I'll take Strider and Ketel Marte.
And Marte.
Yeah.
Where's he at? All right. Let me update the board here. All right, so my third pick, I think I will go with Will Smith. Now, I think I'll go.
Say you don't have any money then.
Yeah, no, that's right, because I got 9. So I'll go with Ty. We'll go the Reds.
And you're just making the Reds with a Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'll go with Ty. There we go. All right.
Okay. So I got 2 now.
Yep.
I got $6. I have $9 left. I'll go. Is that Wilson Contreras or William Contreras?
William.
Oh, that's William? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Actually, that's pretty good then. $2 for him. He's the better of the 2 now.
Yep.
Okay, then I'll go. God, Trout's injured all the time.
Well, yeah, he is, but so is Garrett Cole. So and Strider.
Strider's out for the whole year.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
Then I'll take Trout and no, I don't. Who cares about it? I don't care about the manager. So I'll take Trout and Will Smith.
And Will Smith.
So I got $1 left, I think.
You got $1 left. Uh-oh. Are you going to be able to get that manager?
Yeah, I'm running low too. You might
I know.
have a manager.
Sure, I'm not going to have a down. He's not going to be left. Yeah, what happens then?
You're going to have to
you get the 50-cent manager, whoever that is.
You get the A's manager there.
Yeah.
No, you'll have to probably cut somebody, send somebody down to AAA and bring somebody else up, like a Luke Weaver. Get rid of your pitcher.
I will not do that.
All right.
Well, then if I play that game, that's probably true because you guys, one of you two is going to take that $1 manager. Sure.
It's all.
So I probably will have to take instead of
Smith.
Instead of Smith, I'll have to take William Contreras.
Contreras. All right.
Which is fine. He's actually probably better than JT Realmuto at this point.
All righty. So I guess what do I need yet?
You need manager and outfield.
Fielder. Yeah. So I think, gosh, I do not want either of those 2 managers.
Well, you got $5. You could take any of them you want. Well, you can't take Counsell.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You go Pat Murphy.
Yeah, we could go Murphy for 4.
And you need what else? An outfielder?
An outfielder. Yeah. Nemo.
Yeah.
You know what?
If
I will take. I'm taking Nemo now.
He'll be there because we both have outfielders taken.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, you guys do.
Well, there you go. So,
yeah. So that way I can go with the $4. I'll go with Murphy.
Go with Murphy.
Yep. I'll go with Murphy, my $4 manager.
All right.
Spending the morning. Hey, that's what the Brewers did with Counsell. And look where, or the Cubs.
What the Cubs did.
Yeah, the Cubs did. So.
Let's see. So I need manager and catcher.
Yep.
I've got $5, so I guess I will go. I'll take. Oh, I guess I'll maximize it. I'll go Will Smith and Derek Shelton then.
And then Derek Shelton. All right.
Oh God! Look who I'm going to get for my manager.
I am going to go Brandon Nemo to round it out. He hits well in Great American Ballpark against the Reds, so there we go. And Crawley, who are you taking?
Who is Marmol the manager of? The Cardinals?
The Cardinals, yeah.
Oh God, I can't take him either. So I guess I'm taking Tinkerbell.
Do you got money for Tinkerbell?
Yeah.
You got that was $3.
Yeah, Trout's 4, Wheeler 3, and Contreras is 2.
All right.
I've only spent 12 so far.
So you're going to be stingy like the Reds and not spend all your money. So.
No, I'm at 15 now.
Oh, and now you are, but yeah,
David Bell, yeah,
right,
I spent all 15.
Who was the one that you had before Contreras? I hit the wrong spot.
Yeah, Contreras and then Bell. William Contreras, though.
Yeah,
that's the Brewers one, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Wilson's
he's better
with the
than
Cardinals.
the other one. He's better than the brother.
Yeah.
Now.
And you went David Bell.
Tinker.
You went Tinker Bell is right there. Oh, right. So let's take a look at this draft here. We've got Sam. You had Acuna, Strider. So you went Braves heavy, Marte, Will Smith, and he's got Derek Shelton.
Is that the Pirates manager?
Yeah, that's the Pirates. Yes. Yeah. So he's got somebody who's never managed talent before, so managing that. So I took
because David Bell, manager of talent, right there.
Hey, that's why I went with Murphy.
You did go. Yeah, because he's managed before this year. So yeah.
They're in first place. So I had Garrett Cole, Ellie, Ty Steve, Pat Murphy as my manager, and then Brandon Nemo as my $1 player. And then Crawley with Trout and Wheeler and Bobby Witt Jr., Contreras, and Tinkerbell to sit them every other day. So there we have it.
William Contreras would get 4 starts a week, and Luke Maley would still get 3. So
that's right, because he'd have to have his special catcher pitch. One of your other pitchers have to have somebody else catch for him.
Luke Weaver's got to have Luke Maley back there.
Yep. And then because you had Dream Weaver on the board, Bell will bring him in as a stopgap for you. So all right, we'll post this on our social media feed here, and you guys can vote out there for who do you think had the best $15 major league team out there. So, and taking into account managers, of course. All right. For the good of the order, anything that we didn't talk about you want to?
We didn't touch on Bupenza may have played his last game for FC Cincinnati the last time, whenever that was. I don't really
get in a fight.
Yeah, getting a bar fight with a professional boxer. That's not going to end well for you.
Oh, nice. I did not hear that. So
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't hear that either. I didn't know the professional boxer.
All right.
Yeah. So the MLS guy, his name's Tom Bogart. He tweeted it out like, some more news comes out. He put the guy's name. I can't remember. Then he put his record. He was 17-2 with 13 knockouts. And everybody was like, well, you can make that 14. So yeah, it's not like he was picked a fight with some nobody. I guess this dude's legit boxer. So
I haven't gotten the feeling that Bupenz is known for his
his
IQ
decision making
decision making and smarts and those kind of thing. He looks so
I would not be surprised if they try and help him pack his bags and drive him to the airport this transfer window here. So
put him in the.
Well, he's not going to want to leave because he's
wanted.
He's
wanted
wherever he goes.
Well, I guess he can't even leave.
Well, he can leave, but he might. They might be waiting for him at the airport when he touched down.
He might be like a little kid, like hanging onto the doorknob of the airport, the handle, or whatever. No, you can't. They're pulling on him to try to get him to the plane or whatever. So
they just need that boxer to escort him out. It'll be fine.
That's true. Yeah, we forgot about that story.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Oh well, it's only in Cincinnati.
Is that even like his biggest off the field story since he's been here? I don't even know. He hasn't even been here a calendar year. If we're talking about that.
I'm guessing International Fugitive wanted it.
Yeah,
probably the biggest
right,
story,
exactly.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're going to get out of here. It was a short one today, but it was a good one, packed with a lot of stuff for us. Next week's show, we are going to be drafting our favorite Reds players based on certain categories. There's 9 categories, so we're going to try to field a team the best that we can with these 9 categories. Crawley sent us a list of the categories, so we'll have that, and it'll be interesting. And it's favorite players, not best players. So it's our favorite players of people who we like, and there are a couple of categories that we weren't born yet, so we'll have to do a little research there. But you have to draft your favorite players, and once the person's off the board, they're off the board. You cannot draft them again. So until next week, you can find us on all your podcasting platforms if you listen the audio style, or if you want to watch us, we are on YouTube Live on Sundays at 3, and then we'll also be posting clips throughout the week. So for Charlie and Sam, I'm Dave. Until next week, everybody, have a wonderful week.
See you.
Yep. Take care.